We're here with Ralph Nader, and of course, Mr. Nader has run for president 3 times. But as you know, there are 4 different positions in the backbone cabinet. So you're looking at me, so I'm just going to get down here, so it looks more like you're looking at the camera. 4 different positions in the backbone cabinet that Ralph Nader has been nominated for: Secretary of Labor, Secretary of Transportation, Attorney General, and Administrator of the EPA. So, Ralph, if you could have your pick, which would you choose, and what would you do in your first 100 days?
Well, let's pick the Attorney General. And in the first 100 days, I would make a justice declaration that this country is a country under the rule of law, and that people who are accused of anything are going to get due process, probable cause. They're not going to be arrested without charges, imprisoned without lawyers, as we've seen in recent years for thousands of people in this country. 99% of them were innocent from the get-go. And I think it's important to do that. It's important to reassert constitutional processes in this country from the lawlessness and the outlawry of previous administration. Second, what I would do is announce that every year the Justice Department is going to put a State of the Justice report out. What is the state of the justice in America? What are the criteria to determine whether we got more justice or less justice? Where, when, how? So that people start thinking about progress in the form of justice, not just corporate profits or GDP increase. Third, I would start enforcing all the laws that the Justice Department is supposed to enforce that they hardly ever enforce. The antitrust laws, for example, have very weakly enforced. The environmental crime statutes need more resources to be enforced. When the Food and Drug Administration doesn't recommend criminal prosecution, even though the drug companies have behaved criminally and lots of people have lost their lives due to dangerous drugs that were not recalled or noticed or adequately tested or covered up, the Justice Department should encourage the FDA, say, why aren't you sending us these cases? And I think by giving in the first 100 days the American people a sense of a Justice Department that's properly named as such, they'll become more demanding of justice because they'll have an ally, they'll have a friend, a very powerful friend in Washington. And that's part of the 100 days, is to get people to raise their expectations and not to take it anymore when they are harmed or dismissed or excluded or repressed. The Justice Department has a lot of work to do to recover its reputation. It is becoming increasingly known as the Injustice Department. And the first 100 days is the period to set the pathway, set the vision, and set the course of law as if people mattered first, not corporations.
Thank you, Ralph Nader, very much, and we hope we see you running the Justice Department at the beginning of the next administration, if you're not running the entire administration.
Hardly.
All right. Yeah. Anything else? Maybe just take a second and say hi. Sorry I can't be there, but I want to say hello to everyone at the Progressive Cabinet Summit and with the bank and the U.S. Social Forum.
Yes. Well, what you're doing in Atlanta is very important because you're further defining the progressive agenda for our country and the way our country relates to the world. And the Democratic Party has not been very good at doing that. Unfortunately, they've become very good at electing very bad Republicans over the last 20, 25 years, and we hope that will change shortly. But what you're also doing is raising people's legitimate expectations. Everything starts with higher expectations. If we don't expect anything of our politicians because we think they're all crooked or have sold out, guess what? They're going to deliver exactly that level of expectation. So good luck. Keep raising the expectation levels and raising the civic energy that you have to propel out of the Atlanta meeting all over the United States. It's all about civic energy. It's all about people believing in themselves that they do count and they do matter, and they can fight City Hall and Exxon.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Always.
Okay.